No Game No Life is an absolute staple in anime, and it's known for a variety of things, ranging from its absolutely stunning art and animation all the way to the absolutely massive amounts of plot that were used in the show. But what remains as one of the most iconic parts of the show is its opening song, This Game by Konomi Suzuki. To this day, it has over 150 million views on YouTube, and it's one of the most widely viewed anime intros of all time. However, for a song this popular, there's something very peculiar about it musically, and I've never seen anybody talk about it before. You see, this game starts off in C# minor, starting with its opening intro sequence. And it stays in C# minor even throughout the first verse. So nothing too crazy is going on here, until we come out of the first verse and go into the bridge of the song, where we are hit with a key change that comes seemingly out of nowhere and has very little connection to the original key, because in one way or another, we end up in a C major chord in a song that started out in C# minor. It's very strange, and it has very little connection to the original key that we started in. But, of course, this C major chord is itself part of a greater context and a greater chord progression, because we start off in C, and then we go to D, and then we finish in E. And that's a fairly common 6-7-1 chord progression that you hear all the time. 6, 7, 1. Really common stuff. However, the fact that we're in E minor is really unconventional, and what's especially unconventional is the path that we took to get there when we started off in C# minor. This C major chord that we rest on sounds very ethereal, almost otherworldly. The rest of the bridge and the chorus to the song remains in E minor, and it stays there for the rest of the 90-second cut version of the song. We never go back to C# minor. If you're anything like me, it can be really hard to appreciate just how peculiar this key change actually is, because you've listened to the song so many times that you've just sort of come to expect the key change when it occurs. However, when you think about it, there's really no reason for this key change to have occurred in the first place. After all, if we had stayed in the world of C# minor, it really would have sounded fine. In fact, that's probably more of what you were expecting to occur the first time you listened to the song, but instead what happens is that you're transported to a completely different key out of nowhere, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense until you consider the show that this is the opening song for. After all, this is No Game No Life we're talking about here. It's a show where the main characters are literally transported to a completely different world, in very much the same way that this song is transported to a completely different key that has very little connection to the original. If there was ever a show that needed an opening song with a peculiar key change like this, it would be an isekai just like No Game No Life. Thematically, this is one of the best animes that could possibly have been used to fit this song. And if you recall earlier, the words that I used to describe that C major chord were ethereal and otherworldly, and I think that really wraps up how the song is best used in this context. This game is a really special opening song, not just for how energetic it is in general, but also for how its idiosyncrasies are perfectly tied to the theme of the show. The key change is not normal or standard by any means, but I can't think of a show that would utilize that key change in a better way. So when you listen to this song for the 800th time as you pray for a season 2, I hope you'll remember this video and gain a newfound appreciation for how this show is perfectly tied to its opening song in terms of its theme. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've made it all the way to now, then you probably enjoyed watching my content, so I'd really appreciate it if you took the time to let YouTube know by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. As always, comment down below if there's anything you'd like to see me talk about, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This has been Syntax404, signing off.